Hey, good morning. So I'm listening to Carey Nieuwhof's leadership podcast about, it's episode 321. He's talking to the pastor of Church of the Highlands. And it's a church planning network. It's a church and a bunch of plants in Alabama. I think it's like 55 different campuses. And there's a part of it talking about giving God your first. And he talked about how in his life, he always gives God the first of his day. He starts off with the Word, and he prays, he journals, and he gives God the first day of the week, Sunday, to worship. He takes a Sabbath, which is a day of rest where he doesn't do anything productive. I thought it was a really interesting concept that it's not so much about rest, but about don't produce fruit. Have a day of rest from being productive. But that principle of first, the tithe is off the top 10%. And really a principle that I've been living by for a while, which is not something I've seen a lot of people do, is when you're giving your tithe, which one is not necessary in the New Testament. New Testament does not emphasize tithe, it emphasizes cheerful giving, which in my mind means more than a tithe. But it's off the gross, not off the net. And unfortunately, a lot of people look at their paycheck, what's the actual paycheck, after taxes, after Social Security, after medical insurance is taken out by the employer, and they tithe off of that. But if it's off the first fruits, then it's off the gross. And so it seems like God wants us to give him our first. Now, of course, there's some people that are sharper late at night. There's people that have other areas, and they discuss that a little bit. But he rattled off 5 or 6 different areas where the Bible shows that God's supposed to get our first. And I just thought that was encouraging. So let that be something for you to think about today. And maybe tomorrow you can start off in the Word and make God first in that way. And honestly, I don't want this to be a pressure type of thing where you feel guilty because you can't do it first thing in the morning because you're too groggy or whatever. If you're a better late night person, great. But make sure God gets some of your time each day.